Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, y'all. Welcome to the Toxic Masculinity Podcast. I am your host, Captain Sakawar. I want to thank you all for joining me on this beautiful Wednesday evening. We do it up live, y'all, every Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Usually run about an hour and a half, sometimes a little bit over, depending on what it is that we're dealing with for the evening's topic. You know what I'm saying? Um, Like I said, I want to thank y'all for joining me. You could be anywhere in the world, but y'all decided to be here with me this evening. You understand? Before we go ahead and get into this evening's festivities, we're going to go ahead and begin the show as we do every week with the disclaimer. This here is a man's show. Not to say there's nothing that a woman cannot or will not gain from tuning in, but understand that everything expressed, discussed, and broken down on this podcast will always be based on logic and truth. All right, logic and truth, not emotions, not a feeling, not some desire or uncontrollable urge that can't be explained, but logic and truth. And right now in this country, in this society, in the world at large, there's a war being waged against logic and truth. A war that expands beyond political affiliations, racial demographics, gender identity, and social status. For some of us, this war is blatant and obvious to see, but unfortunately, far too many are becoming casualties to their own ignorance. That is why this platform will be utilized to pull back the curtain, settle the dust, and clear up the fog, just so that we can all, just precisely, so that it can be made apparent to us all what we're battling against. What exactly does all that mean? It means we're going to keep it 100% here, raw, uncut, filtered, but not watered down, straight with no chaser. If you can't take the heat, now's the time to get out of the kitchen. If you cannot swim, you are bound to drizzle. And never forget that wild pressure burst pipes is also what takes coal and turns it into diamonds. Having gotten it out the way, let's get right to it. After I discuss this week's topic, for the second segment, we're going to open up the phone lines for callers. You can find the call-in instructions in the show's descriptions. You can remain anonymous if you like. Keep your language clean. Questions not too personal, and we'll see who out there can deal in logic and in truth. All right. So first and foremost, man, I want to remind everybody what this show is all about. Toxic Masculinity is more or less a relationship podcast designed to instruct and elevate men on the way in which they plan, approach, and develop relationships with women. This is not a show about getting women to have sex with you, but rather being the type of man that a woman will devote forever to. Not for you to use, abuse, and throw away when you've had your fill, but instead for you to lead and guide her towards unlocking the potential she has to be her best self. And for many of you brothers tuning in, the duty that I just described isn't even something we've ever considered when it came to dating or dealing with a woman. The reason why is because so many of us have been programmed and indoctrinated to believe that women come to us complete, fully developed, and ready to love, when the reality is a woman's growth and development is almost never complete. They are constantly evolving because they are constantly being influenced. There was a time in previous generations, where men could control or limit the ways in which their women were influenced by the outside world. That's why, used to have men who would keep their women in the house and didn't want their women going out hanging out with their friends or being in the club. The reason was not to just be, a man who was overbearing and didn't want their woman to have no fun, because you wanted to limit her exposure to things that could corrupt her or cause her to be at odds with you. But in today's society, men no longer have that control. Men no longer are in a position, or are we in a society where we can really limit what our women are exposed to? Especially you're dealing with social media. You know what I mean? Your woman could be sitting right at home all day and constantly be influenced by anybody and everybody who has a camera phone or has a keyboard where they can type their opinion. And so as a man, it is your responsibility to develop yourself as being a man that can have more influence over your woman than everyone else. You understand? And so tonight's show, episode 9, the title is Provoke to Emulation. You understand? Every man has a responsibility and a duty to provoke their woman to emulating them. And in order to provoke your woman to emulating you, you have to be a man that can inspire your woman, or be a man that your woman can aspire to be like. Too many brothers take the responsibility of leading and guiding and building a woman up as if it's, work, or as if it's too much to be asked of you. And I'm telling you right now, brothers, if you are lazy when it comes to being what your woman evolves into, then you will have to work overtime trying to compete with whoever it is that is influencing her to what she is evolving into becoming. You understand? So to help brothers to be able to, whether you like it or not, brother, whether you want to accept it or not, your woman is always learning. Your woman is always growing. She's always analyzing herself, always, critiquing herself. And you should be the one responsible for the way in which she analyzes herself. You should be the one responsible for the way in which she critiques herself, so that when she's insecure or unsure if the way that she's living or the woman that she is becoming is something that is beneficial to her or beneficial to your family, you can be the one to say, well, no, baby, you shouldn't try to be like this. You shouldn't aspire to be like that. Here's what you should do. Here's what you should be. You understand? The problem is too many brothers, don't want to don't want to acknowledge. Too many brothers don't even know that that's what their woman is doing. You meet a woman, you lock her down, you get to know her, she down with you, she loving you, she's all about what you about. But then somewhere along the line, she started to change up and things start to be different. And it's, not like it was in the beginning. And a lot of times as men, we blame ourselves for, we don't blame ourselves for that. We just look at it like the woman changing, or, she wasn't like this in the beginning, man. She used to be happy with this and used to accept that. But now she's asking for more. Now she's requiring things that's different. What you don't realize is going on is your woman is growing. Your woman is elevating. You know what I'm saying? The woman that you have now isn't the woman that she was a year ago. Isn't the woman she was 6 months ago. But because she's evolving and changing and you're not taking the responsibility to lead her, you are behind the 8 ball and trying to adapt to the way she's changing, as opposed to being the reason why she's changing, as opposed to being the inspiration behind her change. You understand? And so tonight, I wanted to just focus brothers in on, you got to be evolving as much as your woman is. You have to be growing as much as your woman is. You understand? You have to be able to provoke your woman to emulation. And the only way, brother, that you're going to be able to be something that your woman can aspire to be, or be a man that inspires your woman, you have to be on top of your game. And being on top of your game as a man means that you are taking care of yourself and you're conscious of the way that your woman adapts to who it is that you are. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of brothers, I want you to realize that your woman, one way or another, is going to be led by you. Either she'll be led by you purposely in the way that you instruct her, in the way that you teach her and guide her, or she'll be led by you in the ways that you lack in that responsibility, in the ways that you slack in teaching her. She'll learn that as well. A lot of you brothers, you meet women and you have women who, you say that they're argumentative, you say that they got an attitude, when in reality, a woman expresses her frustration, you understand, or her, what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of times you arguing and fighting with your woman, you're not realizing that the arguing and fighting is her way to communicate. I said last week that we were going to talk about effective communication. Effective communication, brothers, with women a lot of times is not necessarily the words that they say out of their mouths. We're living in a society where a lot of women are catered to in really every aspect of their lives from when they're young girls. If you're a brother out there, or if you're a sister out there and you have children, there's a different way that we're taught to treat boys and girls. And a lot of times, a lot of women they don't learn to develop communication skills that requires them to say what they mean and mean what they say. A lot of times women are appeased to. So their way of communicating is just being angry. Their way of communicating is being frustrated. Their way of communicating is pouting and throwing a temper tantrum. And because their mother or their father, or whoever they grew up with, just didn't want to deal with no whining, didn't want to deal with no, no temper tantrums, they just give a woman what they want. And many times in relationships, men, that's how we develop to pleasing our woman. She get mad, she get angry. We just try to find the thing that she's angry and she's mad about. We just try to find a way to appease her so that we can just not deal with the arguing and fighting. Brothers, that is not an effective way to train your woman, not an effective way to teach your woman to be responsible. You understand? Brothers, you have to begin to require your woman to use effective communication to get her point across. If you always, allowing your woman to use her emotions and use her anger or her mood to dictate your behavior, then what you're doing is you're training your woman that fighting, arguing, having an attitude is the way that she gets things accomplished, is the way that she gets things done. What you want to do as a man is not allow your woman to use her anger, use her emotions to dictate your behavior or to dictate her being able to get her way. What you want to do is the same way you would do, you know what I'm saying, with a child. You want to make your woman use her words. Make your woman effectively communicate and say what it is that she wants. Say what it is that she, you know what I'm saying, that's bothering her or making her angry, so that you as a man can now apply logic to dictating her behavior, dictating how she gets what she wants from you, as opposed to her using her emotions. You understand? As men, we have got to require our women to mature and to elevate themselves in order to, and being able to understand not only who they are and what they are, but also an understanding and also giving them something to aspire to be. Brothers, the way that you're going to teach your woman to effectively communicate is you have to effectively communicate. If you're a brother that has a woman that doesn't know how to say what she feels or say what it is that she wants, but she shows you through her emotions, 9 times out of 10, she's learned that is acceptable behavior from you. You understand? How many of you brothers out there have learned to, filter yourselves? Certain things that you won't say, certain things that you won't articulate to your woman because you don't want her to feel some type of way. From day one, when you met her, there was a way that you learned to flirt with her, a way you learned to talk to her, that unspoken thing between y'all where, what's understood don't got to be explained. And you've just gotten by, not necessarily communicating, not necessarily understanding what it is that she wants or making her say what it is that she's feeling, but just by reading her mind or picking up on her different cues. If you allow a woman to learn that that's the way that we're going to communicate in the beginning, and you can't be mad later on in a relationship when she doesn't know how to just tell you what she feels or tell you what she wants, and you got to run around trying to guess what's going on. You understand? So as a man, what you have to do is, brothers, you got to learn to remove that filter sometimes when it comes to dealing with your woman. Communication isn't always the things we say. A lot of times communication is how we say it, how we communicate, how we let it be known what our desires and our wants and our needs are. And the responsibility is on us as men, in the beginning of a relationship, and if not in the beginning, at any time in a relationship, to begin to establish, this is the way that you get me to do what you need me to do. This is the way that you show me that you're dissatisfied. This is the way that you express to me what it is that you need. But all the arguing and the fighting and the temper tantrums is not going to work no more. You know what I mean? So, brothers, what you got to understand is the society has taught your woman that it is her duty and her role to fight with you, that it is her duty and her responsibility to argue with you in order to get her way. You know what I mean? A lot of women, they have their fears, they have their insecurities, but no woman has been taught, you know what I'm saying, or are comfortable with saying, honey, I'm afraid of losing you. A lot of women aren't comfortable with saying, baby, I need you, and if you left me, I would die. And so when times arise where they're feeling insecure, they're feeling unsure of themselves, or feeling unsure of their standing in a relationship, they'll choose to argue with you. They'll choose to fight with you. Why? Because a lot of women have developed, they've developed to understand that making up is when you get the best out of your man. When you're making up, that's when a man is, being sweet and he being kind and he being passionate. So when a woman wants to feel loved, instead of her just showering with you with love and just being, being there and building you up and loving you and letting you know how much you aspire them and you're important and you matter to them, they'll argue and fight with you. They'll pick a fight. They'll tell you, you left that toilet seat up. Or they'll argue with you about, the video game, or argue with you about your dirty socks on the floor. When really that argument about the toilet seat being up, or that argument about the dirty socks is just something to piss you off and make you mad. You know what I mean? Them phone calls back to back, when she know you out handling business, taking care of something, those phone calls back to back is not because she has an emergency and she needs something, but those phone calls back to back are to make sure that you know she's there, for her to feel like she's important and she matters. You mad because she arguing about a toilet seat, or you mad because she's calling you back to back when she know you out handling business, when in reality, that's just her way of communicating to you that she needs to feel loved, that she needs to feel needed. A lot of women will argue and fight with you to make a issue, make a reason to break up, or to make a reason for you to be angry, knowing that he ain't gonna stay mad at me forever. He ain't gonna stay mad at me for long. And when he come back, when we make up, the makeup is gonna result in passionate love making. The makeup is gonna result in him telling me how beautiful I am and how much he loves me. The makeup is going to result in, me being able to get my way or get something that I've desired. And brother, if that's the way that your woman is communicating with you, that's your fault. You understand? If you as a man understand and accept that your woman is going to constantly, if you understand and accept that your woman, being an emotional creature, being, competitive, being a woman who always is analyzing and critiquing herself and comparing herself to the world and comparing herself to other, things that she comes in contact with, then you on the front end should be building your woman up. You should be teaching her. You should be training her. You should be giving your woman things to aspire to be. If you got a woman that's sitting home and is on social media all day, she's constantly seeing things that makes her compare her life and analyze who she is and where she is in life. If you as a man aren't giving your woman assignments, giving her, things to do, then guess what? You're going to be at a loss for why is she tripping. You're going to be at a loss for understanding why is she arguing with me? Why is she fighting with me about these trivial things that don't matter, when it's really just her trying to express herself. So here's what brothers have to do in order to provoke your woman to emulation. Here's some steps that you have to take. Here's a mindset that you as a man have to develop in order to be able to pass it down to your woman so that she can be what it is that you're leading and guiding her to be, as opposed to her being a ball of confusion based on her emotions and based on the outside factors that are affecting, her mental well-being or her sense of self-worth. All right. First and foremost, brothers, you have to view yourself as a boss. You know what I'm saying? That song that I played to start the show and that goes into the break is from Nas, called I'm the Man. Brother, you have to understand that you are the man. And in being the man, you are the boss. You have to view yourself not as just a brother out here struggling in this world trying to make it, but you have to view yourself as a corporation. You got to view yourself as a business. And you have to understand that dealing with a woman is like hiring an employee. Dealing with a woman is like establishing a partnership. And you are making a woman a partner in the business of you. And so what must you do with your woman in order to make sure that this partnership is going to be one that is healthy and progressive and successful? You have to be a boss for your woman. A lot of you brothers, you have women who, they know how to go to work and clock in on time. They know how to yes, sir, no, sir. They know how to respond to all of them emails. They know how to get the job done. So a lot of sisters out here, they got gifts and got talents in being a good employee, being a good worker. A lot of you brothers, you're not applying that you're not taking that gift your woman has and applying it to your relationship. If you're a man that views yourself as a boss and views your business as, view yourself as a business that you're trying to grow, then you'll take that woman who's successful at that office and you'll make her successful in a relationship. You'll give her assignments and you'll give her duties and you'll give her responsibilities. And she'll be so focused on trying to please the boss. She'll be so focused on trying to grow the business that she won't have time to compare herself to other women or other people or other things that the society is telling her to do. A lot of you brothers, you have to make sure that when you're entering into a partnership with women, you're analyzing how is this going to affect my business. You understand? Also, you can't be quick to just partner up with a woman. Hell, if you view yourself as a business and view yourself and your well-being as, a company, then guess what? You'll have a woman that got to start out in the mailroom, man. You start out in the mailroom, give her small duties, small responsibilities, small things that she has to do and goals that she has to accomplish to prove to you that she's a good worker. A lot of you brothers, because you don't view yourself as a boss and you don't view your life as a business that you're trying to grow, you'll be just happy to accept some woman wanting to work for you. You'll be happy to accept some woman being your partner. When if you looked at a relationship, looked at sex with a woman as a lifelong commitment and viewed yourself as a business and a woman as a partner, then you would stop for a second and say, well, hold on, man, let me see if this woman is worthwhile for me to add to my business. Is this woman, right for the job that I am requiring her to do? And if you're a man that is not requiring a woman to do a job, then you're going to have a woman who, think about any job you've ever worked or any place you go to where there isn't any oversight. Think of the type of places where we go where women are in positions of authority and it's really not, a manager who's closely monitoring them. Think about the DMV. You wanna know why you go to the DMV and that woman behind that desk is giving you hell and got an attitude and don't really want to deal with you because there's really no consequences and repercussions of her being an asshole. So she sit behind that desk at the DMV or at the bill payment place or at the Walmart and she's an asshole and not doing her job and not being professional. Why? Because nobody requires her to do her job and to be professional. You understand? A lot of you brothers, your woman is that in the relationship. You ain't got no oversight. You're not requiring her to do anything. She doesn't have any duties. Because she ain't got no duties, she's at work bored. And what do women do when they bored? They get into mischief. You know what I'm saying? Women and men, boredom, you know what I'm saying, it can be problematic, but specifically for a woman in a relationship. Brother, if your woman is bored, she's going to go seeking excitement. If you're not giving your woman something to do or something to aspire to be, then your woman's going to occupy her time with just things that's fun. And for a woman, a lot of time what's fun is, learning and finding out new things and seeing what's going on, what's popping on social media, or what's popping with the Bad Girls Club, or, what's popping on this thing and that thing. And a lot of times, brothers, if you ain't got your ear to the streets and are aware of what's out there in the world that could be influencing your woman, you got a woman that's bored, man, she'll just mess with you for fun. She'll pick with you. So guess what? You're going to have to do your job and do your due diligence and making sure that you're keeping that woman occupied, keeping her focused on the goal that's at hand so that she can focus on taking care of business and not and getting into mischief. So first things first, brothers, you got to view yourself as a boss, view being with you as a business opportunity, as an opportunity for a woman to have some growth. And then you can't just give her the keys to a partnership. You got to start out in the mailroom. Give her small duty, small, responsibility, small things in order to be able to prove to you that she got some value, that she got some worth. You start a woman out in the mailroom. Some women are good mailroom workers, meaning what? They're good at just taking small things, handling small responsibilities. And if a woman can prove herself to be a good mailroom worker, then maybe, you can move up to full time. Maybe you can give her a position on the staff and, give her some set duties and an established time and different things like that. But if you start a woman out in the mailroom, brother, and she doesn't prove that she's a good mailroom worker, well, then why would you partner with her? A woman can't prove to you with small things that she can be responsible, that she can be dependent upon, that she can be, someone to get the job done. Then why would you extend her contract? Why would you give her a raise? You understand? And if y'all think that what I'm saying is foreign or it sounds like I'm demeaning women, think of some of the things that the older generation used to say. You know what I'm saying? You ever heard the saying that women were, they used to say a woman would, why would a man buy the horse if you giving him why would he buy the cow if you giving him the milk? That's a way that a woman was trained that she can't just give her all without requiring nothing in return. It's foolish for a woman to give her all and not be getting something back. Well, guess what, fellas? It's the same for you. Why would you buy a cow if you don't know that the cow got good milk? You understand that the milk in this case shouldn't be sex. As a man, you have to know that sex is not going to be what sustains a relationship. Sex is not going to be why you love a woman or why you want to build with her again. If you look at yourself as in a business, you'll view your time as an investment. You'll view your energy and being with a woman as an investment. Why would you invest time and energy in something that's not productive? Why would you invest time and energy in something that's not going to make it worth your while? So when you meet a woman, when you're getting to know her, you should take time to find out, what does this woman have to offer? What is the milk that I'm buying the cow for? And if the woman ain't got good milk, if the milk is spoiled, or if the cow don't put out milk when you go to, pull on the teat, well then guess what? You should not be investing the energy and the time into buying the cow. So you want to start out, by testing a woman, trying her to see if she's fit for the job. Now, when a woman starts to prove herself that she may have what it takes, she may have the tools necessary in order for you to invest the time and the energy. She may be someone who's worthy for you to put on the payroll or to make a full-time employee. Then guess what? You can't allow a woman to move up, and then as she moves up, less and less is required of her. As a man, you constantly have to require things of your woman, and what you require of your woman can't just be sex. It can't just, it can't get mundane and monotonous. You have to constantly continue to challenge your woman, continue to push her, to grow and to be better. Again, the woman is going to grow and be better regardless. She's going to grow and evolve one way or another. As a man, you should take the responsibility of how she grows and how she evolves. You should take the responsibility of dictating where her focus is on what she, not necessarily what she wants to be, but you as a man have to recognize the skills and the abilities your woman has and put yourself in a position to be the one that inspires her to be better, that pushes her to elevate. You understand? And you have to be a man who lives a life that she can respect. She can look at you and say, damn, my man out there doing this and doing that. You know what? I need to be going ahead and getting myself, I need to be doing something too. I need to be helping. I need to be putting in a brick. I need to be supporting this man and making him better. A lot of brothers wonder why, if they provide a woman with a lifestyle where he's working and making all the money and she get to just sit home and relax all day, a lot of brothers wonder why they end up losing their woman. You know what I'm saying? To some cat who's not doing the things that he do. Or brothers wonder why they lose their woman, to the world or to being around their friends and hanging out. The reason why is because, brother, you didn't give that woman nothing to do. You made her life boring. Not to say you can't have a woman that stays a stay-at-home wife, but as she's a stay-at-home wife, she still should be evolving. She still should be growing. There's still things that you should require of her to get the most out of her potential. That's why it's a beautiful thing I see in the UPK, ISUPK, where brothers have their wives, starting these independent businesses. And you got sisters, they got a skill to sew. Put that woman to work making some garments, man, making some headpieces. You got a woman that's real resourceful, put her to work doing some couponing and teaching sisters how to save money. You got a woman that can cook, put her to work cooking and have her selling plates or selling dishes or something, baking cookies. You understand? A man who empowers his woman to be successful, empowers her to find and unlock, potential that she hasn't tapped into. That is a woman that is constantly going to look to that man for inspiration. Is constantly going to remember the ways in which this man elevated her in life. If you as a man think that all a woman wants or requires from you is for you to pay all the bills and make sure she get all the things she wants and she's going to be happy, you're playing yourself, man. Women get bored. Women get bored quick. And so in order for you to not allow your woman to get bored or complacent, maybe complacent is a better word than bored. No woman likes to be complacent or be stagnant in life. If you got a woman that likes being complacent and being stagnant, then that's your fault as a man for not encouraging, inspiring, and pushing her to be better. But a lot of women are ambitious. A lot of sisters, the way that they fight any insecurity or the way that they fight any fear of losing a man or of not being valued is they out here, they constantly improving their value, constantly making themselves better. I said this before. A woman who is trying to maintain what she's been given in life can be the most competitive creature you've ever seen. You get a woman that got something in life that matters to her and she don't want nobody else to have it or doesn't want to lose it, she'll be the most competitive. She'll be Michael Jordan. You understand? She'll be goddamn Tom Brady in the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl. Some of these black women, these Latina and Native Indian women, they are more competitive than anything you've ever seen. As a man, you got to take advantage of that. You got to recognize that I got me an ambitious woman. So guess what? I'm going to push her to be better. I'm going to push her to do more. I'm going to elevate her to a position in my business where she becomes irreplaceable, where she becomes, untouchable. You know what I mean? I could have a business where I could have employees and, all of them could be expendable. But there's that one woman who, listen, can't do without her, man. She's definitely necessary for, this business to thrive, or what she's added to the company. It can't be, it can't be measured in dollars and cents. As a man, you want to develop your woman into that because she's capable of being it. Hell, her job does it. The school she goes to does it. The world tries to get every bit of what your woman has to offer. The same thing I'm telling you brothers to do with your woman. You think MAC lip gloss doesn't do that? MAC lip gloss costs goddamn $75 a bottle. Well, if your woman work at Family Dollar, she can't afford the $75 MAC lip gloss. So guess what she'll do? She'll go to school. She'll go to college. And she'll go to cosmetology school. Why? So she can make more money to afford that MAC lip gloss. Well, why is she making these changes in growth and development in her life for some lip gloss when she could be doing it for her man? Hell, there's some sisters, they grew up in project housing. They grew up in 2-bedroom apartments. And they don't want to live in a 2-bedroom apartment no more. They want to live in a nice big house where they could go to watch the Martha Stewart channel or watch the Home Network, and they could design their home the way that they want. So you know what they do? They get off that couch and they go to school, or they go get some job, and they go and, get professional clothing, and they learn to speak a good white voice, got a good phone voice, so they can go to that job and talk nice and be proper, so they can get a raise and get elevated and become a manager. Why? So they can get out that 2-bedroom apartment and buy a house. If you a brother, why would you allow your woman to be motivated by wanting to buy a house and not be motivated by you? Either way, your woman is going to be inspired. Either way, she is going to evolve and she is going to want to grow. Brother, make sure that you are the one who is leading your woman in the way that she is inspired. Make sure that you are the one that is pushing your woman to grow and to be better. Make sure that you as a man are provoking your woman to emulation. And understand this, brothers. You could be, regardless of who you are as a man and how you live in your life, your woman is going to emulate you. I remember being in the world. I always had a certain way of talking and different little slang I would use. And I used to, you notice how women will pick it up. I'd be, deal with a woman for a little while. She'd be around me. You know what I'm saying? I'm from DC, Maryland, man. We didn't use the word B. B was a New York thing. But I like the way them cats from New York was like, yeah, B. You know what I'm saying? So I started using B. Man, I had bras in Maryland and DC calling cats B, saying, hey, B, yo, B. And I realized, like, damn, she pick up on my slang. Well, guess what? The same way she pick up on your slang, she gonna pick up on other things. If you a cat that's lazy, a cat that procrastinates, guess what? Your woman gonna pick up laziness and procrastination from you. You a cat that's late all the time and don't be, you ain't attentive and on point and on time for things. Guess what? You'll have a woman that'll be late. A woman will be late for every goddamn thing. If you're a brother that's you work a 9 to 5, work a job, and you're not good at following orders or getting assignments completed, well, guess what? When you go to have your woman to do something, put her to work, she'll be late on assignments. She'll be lax on getting things accomplished. And this is especially necessary for brothers in the truth. The man that you are in the truth, your woman is going to be a reflection of that. If you're a brother that's disciplined, a brother that's reliable, a brother that's on time, a brother that don't make excuses, then you can require your woman to be that way. But if you're a brother that's, lazy and not really on your job and not really doing what you're supposed to do, reporting in on time, it's going to reflect in how your woman treats you. And this goes back to what I said last week and what I'm always saying is, brothers, a lot of these issues and problems we're having in relationships, they're our fault. And we got to stop looking outside of ourselves for what's wrong with our woman, looking outside of ourselves for what's wrong with our relationship, and start taking the responsibility. Start putting the blame on yourself. If you stop looking at your woman for the ways that she's wrong and the ways that she's not on your level, and look at yourself for failing to lead her to be who you need her to be and to be on that level, then now, instead of you being frustrated and arguing and angry with her all the time, you'll take the time to make sure that you're doing everything you're supposed to be the man that she reflects off of. But a lot of the way that your woman is now is because she's a reflection of you. You've provoked her to emulation, but you provoked her to emulate being a piece of shit. Excuse my language. You provoked her to emulation, but you provoked her to being lazy. And then not really caring about, whether she's doing the best that she can do or being the best that she can be. You provoked her to emulation to where she hadn't have a problem laying around and looking at her phone and looking at social media because you laying around on your phone playing video games. You understand? Learn to change the way that you think about yourself and think about being a man, and you'll change the way that your woman thinks about herself and thinks about being your woman. One way or another, brother, you're going to provoke your woman to emulation. One way or another, she's going to constantly be evolving and constantly changing. And if you don't take the time and the energy to be responsible over how she evolves and how she grows, then someone else will. And with that, we're going to go ahead and take a break. We'll be back with the second half. I'm about to open up the phone line, so if you brothers and sisters want to call in with any comments, any questions, anything y'all dealing with, come get with me. You live on Toxic Masculinity with Captain Sakawar. All right, we back, y'all. Live on Toxic Masculinity with Captain Sakawar, episode 9, Provoke to Emulation. You understand? We got through the first segment, man, and some of the topics that I had lined up for us to discuss this evening are really in line with, what it is that I was bringing out. I want brothers and sisters to understand that the things that I'm bringing out on this podcast, they are things that a lot of brothers and sisters are, becoming aware of in this day and time. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of sisters who have matured and grown and elevated themselves to understanding that a lot of the ways that they were taught and were raised was wrong. A lot of the things that they were told about being a woman, a lot of the ways that they were instructed on how to, be the best that they can be and to get the most out of their man was backwards. And unfortunately, a lot of women have learned by being with man after man and giving their all and then, finding out and then being thrown away. Or being with man after man and trying to be who they thought they needed to be and those relationships fail. And some of these women have looked around and said, the problem is I'm trying to be in charge. The problem is I'm trying to be the boss. The problem is I'm trying to, dictate or determine what me and my man's relationship is going to be, as opposed to allowing my man to lead and me playing the role in the position that he is designated for me. And so what I'm trying to do is equip brothers with the tools necessary to accept the responsibility of leading a woman. Accept the role of being in charge. Accept, brother, that it's going to start and end with you, whether you like it or not, and you should not shy away from it. Brother, you should embrace being in charge. You should embrace leadership, because it's what the Most High prepared for you, and it's what a lot of these sisters are realizing. But understand, the women, it's for a woman to come to you and say, I need you to lead me and guide me and be my master. It's just not in their nature. Not only is it not in their nature, it's not in the way that they've been programmed. And so, speaking about the effective communication, like I did in the first segment, brother, you have to be able to recognize when your woman is asking for your leadership, when she's asking for your guidance, because you won't hear the words, I need you to lead me and guide me, come out of her mouth. You need to know when your woman needs to be protected. You have to know when your woman needs to be reassured, because I need you to protect me and reassure me is not going to come out of her mouth. You have to know when your woman needs to know that she's secure and that she has nothing to worry about. Her only focus needs to be being the best that she can be, because you'll never hear her say, I'm unsure of my role and unsure of why I'm important to you. Those feelings that a woman has is going to come to you in the form of insecurity. It's going to come to you in the form of her arguing and being frustrated, or saying that you don't love her enough or you don't care about her. And you as a man, you'll be wrecking your brain like, well, goddamn, I do everything for this woman. I do everything she needs. How the hell can she tell me she don't know if she's loved or cared for? Brother, you have to know that she's relaying to you that I need some reassurance. I need some security. Maybe she needs to, you need to make passionate love to her. Maybe you need to take her out. Maybe you need to do something to show her how important she is and how much she matters. And it's going to be work. It's not going to be easy. There's going to be times you're frustrated as a man, like, I do everything for this woman, and she telling me that, I don't show her I love her. That's crazy. That's women, brother. You know what I'm saying? But you as a man, you can avoid the frustration of her communicating with you like that if you on the front end know, I got to make sure this woman knows how important she is. I got to make sure she's secured. I got to make sure she feels protected. I got to make sure she knows. Take your woman to the gun range and shoot your gun, and let her see you put 5 holes in the center of the goddamn target. Tell your woman, call her one day and say, hey, baby, get dressed, man. Put on something special, something beautiful. We going out tonight. Take her to a nice restaurant. You know what I'm saying? Treat her to a nice dinner. I mean, let her go shopping. Let her buy something sexy to wear around the house. She wearing, the same underwear she been wearing for the past, 3 months. Tell her, hey, baby, listen, take some money, man. Go buy something nice, man. You know what I'm saying? I come home tonight, had that pretty thing on that I like you to wear. Have your bra and your panties matching. Do something to make the woman feel like she's sexy and feel like a lady. Don't get comfortable and complacent and, relaxed in how you deal with your woman, because it's going to reflect in the way that she deals with you. Let me go ahead and play this video and let you. This is what I'm trying to explain to brothers. A lot of these sisters are realizing what they need to do. You got to elevate yourself as a man to be the man that she's going to look to for these things. You know what I'm saying? To bring them out of her, because she's not just going to come to you on her knees with her head bowed saying she needs you. At least not yet. Let me play the video.
That's why you can't find a man. You can't be the king in the house. Fall back and be the queen and let your man lead the way. So I salute you for that.
What does that mean? You can't be a lady. Because a lot of women look at me like, no, I can lead in my household. I could do this in my household. What does that mean?
That's not how it's supposed to be. And that's why we bump heads. And I feel like it's a generational thing. And we can talk. We can go real.
Again, the sister said that's not how it's supposed to be. And that's why we bump heads. And that's why we go through it. It's a generational thing. She's right. It is a generational thing. It is a thing where we're not in line with one another. We're not on the same page. And the reason why we're not in line and we're not on the same page is because brothers aren't realizing that being with a woman or having a woman is a responsibility, and leading a woman is a duty. You can't get out of it. You got to be man enough. If you're man enough to lay a woman down and have sex with her, then you got to be man enough to deal with the responsibility of what that woman is going to need. Let me let Fantasia continue.
Deep on that, I don't need to start that, but it's a generational curse. and how society have placed our men. And women have to stand up and be the mother and the father and the provider. And so then now you are so bad, you can't be told nothing, that when the right man comes, you lose him because you're trying to be the man.
When the right man comes, you lose him because you're trying to be the man. What is the right man? What is the right man that every woman is waiting for? The man that's going to take charge, the man that's going to lead them, guide them, protect them, secure them, reassure them. You have got to be that man, brother. And a woman, it can't be fake. It can't be pretend. This ain't some bravado, stick your chest out, yeah, I'm the man. It got to be how you live your life, brother. It got to be the way that you deal with a woman. I'm gonna let the sister continue.
Understand?
Right.
Man.
Can we be equal?
Oh, of course. But see, at the end of the day, I'm the neck, my man's the head. So he can't make any moves without his wife. You know what I mean? It all works together. But you can't be the head of the house. You got.
Now, this is Fantasia is a good sister. She on the right path. But when hit with that question, can we be equal? The answer is no. But we'll see, no woman is gonna say, I don't want to. I'm not. No, sister. But most women not gonna say, no, I'm beneath my man. I'm not equal. You know what I'm saying? This sister said, yeah, we could be equal, but I'm the neck, he's the head. What is she saying? He's above me. I'm beneath him. See, women come up with all the women know there's a way that there's things to be said that's acceptable to them. She accepts that she's the neck, her man's the head, but she won't just say, nah, girl, my man is over me and I'm under him. Only righteous sisters do that. Only women like Sarah do that and called Abraham Lord. Brother, you can breed a woman to be like Sarah because Sarah's in them. You can breed a woman to say, nah, I'm beneath my man. He's above me in every way. He lead me and guide me and do everything. He instructs me on all things. Most women won't say that, but they'll say, well, you know, I'm the neck, he the head. And let you go on. Matter of fact, let me know if y'all hearing Fantasia. Hold on, man. I forgot to do something. Let me know if y'all hearing Fantasia clearly. Let me make sure that she coming through loud. Damn, y'all might not have heard Fantasia. I need somebody to comment. Let me know if you heard Fantasia just now, what she was saying. Or do y'all need me to turn it up louder? All right. Somebody let me know, man. Was y'all hearing Fantasia clear? Was the sound coming through the way it's supposed to? Or do I need to elevate the volume on Fantasia? Damn. Okay, you know what? I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to start Fantasia from the beginning so that I make sure it's clear that everybody heard what she's saying because I'm not sure if everybody heard her. And I apologize for that. Let me get y'all this. Hold on. Bear with me. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Let me do this. Then I'm going to do this. All right. I'm gonna start Fantasia off from the beginning because I'm not sure if everybody was hearing her clearly, all right? So let me go ahead back to the beginning and start it over.
You know what I mean? We need more men to stand up and lead the way. Mm-hmm. Most women are trying to be the leader. Mm-hmm. That's why you can't find a man. You can't be the king in the house. Fall back and be the queen and let your man lead the way. So I salute you for that.
What does that mean? You can't be a leader? Because a lot of women look at it like, no, I can lead in my household. I could do this in my household. What does that mean?
That's not how it's supposed to be. And that's why we bump heads. And I feel like it's a generational thing. And we can go real deep on that. And I don't need to start that, but it's a generational curse. Mm-hmm. And how society have placed our men. Mm-hmm. And women have to stand up and be the mother and the father and the provider. And so then now you are so bad, you can't be told nothing, that when the right man come, you lose him because you're trying to be the man. I was going to say,
right,
man.
Mm-hmm. Can we be equal?
Oh, of course. Mm-hmm. But see, at the end of the day, I'm the neck, my man's the head. So he can't make any moves without his wife. You know what I mean? It mm-hmm. all works together. But you can't be the head of the house. You got to let the man be the head of the house. But it's a generational thing, and it's what we've been taught. To stand up, be strong, be the, you know what I mean? And a dude come and everything about you is like a man.
Sometimes we have no choice though.
But that's what I was saying. It's
right.
a generational thing, and that's what society has. They do that on purpose.
Mm. So you think women have to fall back a little for their man? Is that what you think?
You have to learn how to submit. You can still be a queen. Queen plays a part. The king needs his queen. Mm-hmm. It's certain things that he can't see that we see.
Some people will say the queen is the most valuable piece on the board.
Come on, anybody play chess?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
My
husband's teaching me how to play chess. You know what I mean? It's we work together, but the queen has to sit back and allow her king to be the king.
Now, that's what I want y'all to understand about what Fantasia was just saying and what the sister was just bringing out. You know what I'm saying? What the sister is trying to elocute, or what she's trying to speak on, is how society has trained women to be towards their men, and how men have lost the strength and the knowledge and the understanding of how to fight against the training and the program that women have received from the society. I said this in previous episodes, brothers. A lot of us, we are in a war for our women against the society. You are not fighting your woman. You're not in a war with your woman. You are in a war with the society and the programming that is influencing your woman to act the way she acts and behave the way she behaves. But you are not at war with your woman. If you got a woman who you've laid down in the bedroom and you've made love to her and you've, gotten her to, submit and agree to be with you, then you've already began to conquer this woman. But you've conquered her physically. You need to conquer her mentally. You need to conquer her emotionally, conquer her spiritually. And the way you do that is by taking control and being a leader, being a man, and a man who is unapologetic and unafraid to assert himself and to demand that his woman becomes what he needs her to become in order for him to grow and conquer and to have the things that he deserves and is zealous about having in life. You understand? And the only way that you're going to be able to be that man, brother, is if you demand it. Everybody understand? And so with that, piggybacking off of the, commentary from the sister Fantasia about letting a man lead and a man being responsible to be the head, and a woman, submitting herself and putting herself in a position, of under her man. I came across this post this week, and it was, a lot of different brothers and sisters commenting on it. As you can see, Craig Calhoun shared it October 15th. It got, 227,000 shares, which means a lot of people seen it, was intrigued by it, and they clicked it. And it says, in a relationship, does a man's happiness matter too? In a relationship, does a man's happiness matter too? Why does the question need to be asked? In a relationship, does a man's happiness matter too? Because the idea is out there that a man's happiness doesn't matter. There's the programming from the society, happy wife, happy life. There's the programming from the society that, as a man, your job and your responsibility is to just make sure your woman is happy. Do whatever you got to do to stay out of her way and let her, be the boss and decide this and that. That is programming from the society. And it is not the type of mentality that alludes to a productive, happy relationship. As a man and a woman, you cannot have a good relationship if everything is dictated by a woman's happiness. If everything is controlled by how a woman feels or what she approves of or doesn't approve of. You understand? So I said that I would address this question this week, and I want for brothers and sisters to understand clearly that everything I am about to say is based in logic and truth. And like I said, the logic and truth that has helped establish this show and serves as a source behind all of the commentary that I provide is the Most High, the Bible, and life experience. You understand? Understand that with what I'm about to say, I can fully back up everything I'm about to say with scriptures. I can fully back up everything I'm about to say with evidence from, life and experience. I'm going to tell you straight up, the only thing that matters in a relationship is a man's happiness. A man's happiness has to be paramount in a relationship. But brothers, here's what you brothers have to understand, is your woman cannot be in control of your happiness. You cannot trust a woman to be responsible for your happiness. So what does that mean, brothers? If you are in a relationship with a woman and your happiness is the most important thing, it is your responsibility to be happy as a man. You cannot put it on your woman to make you happy. It is too much of a burden for her to bear. You can't make it your woman's responsibility for you to be happy. So because you can't make it your woman's responsibility for you to be happy, You as a man have to make sure that you go about establishing your own happiness. And whether or not your woman is happy or she agrees to make you happy or does the things that you need for her to make you happy, they have to be a byproduct of you actually being happy. Now, women out there might say, well, that's not fair. Why man happiness only matter? Why does it not matter if I'm happy or what I got going on? In a relationship, everything trickles down from the man. Whether brothers want to accept it or not, whether brothers want to agree to it or not, you set the tone for everything in your relationship. The whole first segment about provoking the emulation was about how you as a man are going to either you're going to train and teach your woman how she's supposed to be, or she'll learn from watching you. Whether you're doing it purposefully or not, a woman is going to learn from her man. She's going to emulate her man. Your woman is going to evolve and grow regardless. She can evolve and grow the way you lead her to, or she can evolve and grow the way the society leads her to. But everything trickles down from you. Brother, if you are happy, your happiness can trickle down to your woman in a relationship. If you are unhappy, your unhappiness can trickle down to your woman in a relationship. As a man, if you are living, here's why a woman's happiness cannot be paramount. Because women do not know what makes them happy. Women's happiness is a fickle thing. It's not concrete. It's not solidified in anything. As a man, brother, you cannot allow for your woman's happiness, to be paramount. Your woman is going to learn from you what makes her happy. Why is that? Because women's happiness is dictated in emotions. It's dictated in how they feel. And how ever evolving and changing is a woman's emotions and is a woman's feelings. If you as a man are living your life trying to, be agreeable with your woman's emotions, then you'll never have any stability. You'll never be able to establish or do anything concrete. But guess what? Men, our happiness, we can easily define our happiness. You can go on the street and ask 100 men, what does it take to make you happy in a relationship? And brothers will be able to give you, 3 things. Feed me, sex me, and leave me alone. That's it. Just make sure I eat good. Make sure that the loving is good and on demand when I need it. And just leave me alone sometimes. Not all the time. You know what I mean? You ain't got to just, it's not a thing where I don't love you or I don't like you, but sometimes I need my space. Sometimes I need to just be able to do things. Why do you think men go to the gym? Why do you think men go, to hang out? Why do you think men go to the bar? Because a man needs space. And sisters, brothers, in this time we're living in, there is no bar. There is no gym in many places. You're going to have to learn to communicate to your woman, hey, baby, I need to be left alone for a little bit. Now, I don't need space. You know what I'm saying? This time I'm being left alone is not for another woman. It's for me. You know what I'm saying? A lot of brothers, especially being a man who's honest with his woman about, being with multiple women and having other women, that you trained her to accept that and deal with that. Your woman in her mind thinks that every moment you're away from her, you're with another woman. You have got to make sure that you can effectively communicate to your woman that there's time that I need to myself. There's time that I'm not being bothered with you or with them or anybody else. It's time that I take for me and only me to just clear my mind and refresh, have a meeting with myself. Most women don't understand. We spend much time debating with ourselves over different things. You as a man, you go home and you go and look in the mirror and just be like, yo, what the fuck is going on? What are we going to do about this, man? How are we going to handle this? Most men, it ain't that extreme. You don't look at yourself in the mirror and have a conversation, but you have a conversation in your mind. You know what I mean? As men, the way that we're designed, we're constantly plotting, constantly planning, constantly trying to see what the next move is going to be. And being in this society where we're at war, whether you know it or not, as a black man in this society, Hispanic and Native Indian man, you're at war. And the way that we've adapted ourselves to fighting that battle is we plan with ourselves on what move is going to be next, constantly thinking. Well, sometimes it can be difficult to hash situations out if you can't have space, if you can't be by yourself. Some of you women, you see your man playing a video game. You think he always on that video game. Why he always playing them games? That is his alone time to just, think, to try and plot and plan what the next move is going to be. Some of you sisters, your man go to the gym. You think him going to the gym is going to be with some other woman. You think he's working out some other woman every time he say he going to the gym. Him in that gym lifting them weights, doing them push-ups and on that treadmill, it's time for him to address the problems and the stresses in his life. And he can't do it with you in his face. You understand? A lot of you women don't understand that your man filters himself in protecting your feelings and your emotions for him to try and just, find happiness, find peace. A lot of you women, you don't know how to be your man's peace. And if he told you how to be his peace, it would hurt your feelings. So he doesn't tell you. He goes about finding his own peace. You understand? But in a relationship, happiness has to come from the man. The man's happiness has to be paramount, because a man who is not functioning properly is going to ruin a relationship. A man who is not functioning properly, who is not focused, who is not satisfied with where he is, he can't lead his woman effectively. He can't be there for his children the way he needs to be there for his children. He can't be the man in this community he's supposed to be when he's dealing with trauma and stress. So guess what? That man's happiness has to be first. So if he's happy and pleased with where he is in life, now he can focus on leading this woman. Now he can focus on loving her properly and leading her. Now he can focus on raising his kids and being attentive to them, making sure they got what they got. Now he can go out here and conquer in the world and elevate himself and be assured that he's a man and doing manly things and conquering and taking the position he's supposed to have in life. But if a man is taking his time and his energy to make sure a woman is happy, then everything about that relationship and about that life is going to be unstable. If you're a brother who was raised to believe happy wife, happy life, if you're a brother who was raised to believe that your woman should be in control and she should be the one leading, if you were taught that a man goes to work and gives the check to his woman and lets her handle all the heavy lifting, then you a man who has a horrible relationship. And you are not happy, you're not pleased, and neither is your woman because she's leading you. Brother, take back control of your life. Take back the responsibility of your happiness. And regardless of how it makes anybody feel, regardless of what it does to your woman, you have got to be responsible for your happiness. Do not allow a woman to have the weight, you understand, of being the one who makes sure that you're happy. All right, so we good on that. I'm going to drop that topic. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, if anybody disagrees with me or think I'm wrong about anything I'm saying, all you got to do is call in. You know what I'm saying? Call in. The number is right there in the description. You call the number, put in the meeting ID. Go ahead and put in, you know what I'm saying, the password, and you'll be connected in. You understand? But fellas, your happiness is paramount. All right, now, it's another story that came out this week. Been a lot of shootings, a lot of violence going down across the country. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these brothers who are, these entertainers, these rappers is getting into it, man. There's a rapper by the name of Mo3. He's famous down there in the South, famous in Dallas, Texas. The brother got killed on the road. Now, I'm not sure how true this is or not, but I saw this post that said rapper Mo3 was set up by a female, confirmed by TMZ. Now, I don't know if he was set up. I don't know the story of what happened to this brother or why he got shot. But I'm here to let you brothers know that it is definitely important that you vet a woman before you deal with her, man. Being with a woman and choosing a woman is not a light matter. It's not just, I met her at the club, man, and she talking good. I'm going to go ahead and invite her to the crib. Brother, you are tripping. You understand? It used to be a time where, if you was a man who was, hustler or whatever, you had to do certain things and make sure you was protected. But it's getting to the point where if you a regular cat, you gotta, things like where you live is important now. I remember being in the streets, man. I was in the world. I never been no dope boy or hustler cat, but I never brought no hoe back to my house. Never brought no hoe to where my mama, I stayed with my mama. I'd get a hotel room or something. You know what I'm saying? I put tents on my car so I wouldn't have to take no woman home. You brothers out there, you getting you meeting some broad in the club or meeting her online, wherever you meeting them, and you getting them all involved in your life and letting them into all the intricacies of, your life and knowing your whereabouts, and not even knowing that this could be a hoe that's plotting on you. That this woman showing you favor, being all up on you, could be fulfilling orders from another man to go game you up and get you locked in so she can go ahead and set you up. Brothers, you got to be very distrustful of these women, man. You got to look at these women side-eye. Some woman is all up on you. Some woman showing you love and showing you attention and affection. You got to be looking at her like, what the hell is this woman trying to get from me? What does she want? She being all sweet and being all kind and being all on me. You got to look at her with a side eye. And if you learn, again, if you look at yourself as a boss and look at your life as a business, you will entertain women who you encounter as potential employees or potential partners in this business. And if you don't know how a partnership works in business, man, go do some research. Go do some studying. And I ask you, PK, like I said, we are men who are bound by morality. Sex to us is a commitment. Sex is marriage to us. We don't need no wedding ring. We don't need no certificate from the government. And if you do your research and you go and understand what state approved marriage is in this society, it is a business contract. It's a business agreement. You want to know why the entertainers and the athletes, when they go get married and they woman get divorced, she go gets half? Because when you put a ring on a woman's finger and you go get a license from a government, it is a commercial contract. It's agreeing that me and this woman are in business now, and all of our holdings separately are now gathered together. And if you divorce that woman or break up with her, guess what you've just done? You've given that woman the rights to all half of everything that the partnership owns. Brother, don't put no ring on no woman's finger and get no goddamn government license. Why would you do that? If you view yourself as a business and having sex with a woman as a partnership or a commitment, well, then guess what? You'll be ahead of the curve of these cats who just out here putting a ring on a woman's finger because they think that's what matters. You understand? You partner up with the wrong woman, she will take you for half. She'll leave you and take everything you got, and you'll just be left. Well, unfortunately, if this is true about the rapper Mo3, this brother trusted the wrong woman, and that woman caused him his life. He didn't vet her, didn't deal with her like it was a business. He didn't know her well enough to know what she was potential. I mean, what her potential for harm to him was. As a man, if you're a man who's focused on your life and taking life seriously, you'll never allow yourself to get involved with a woman who could potentially destroy you, either financially, spiritually, you know what I'm saying, mentally, or literally in the case of the rapper Mo3, who lost his life. All right. So let me go ahead and drop that. And finally, the last story for this evening that we're going to deal with, that we're going to address, it's a story that came, I found it on, Facebook. It's a brother, Tony Rock. Now, I don't know why they're asking this brother this question, but I want everybody to hear the story that this Angela Yee is going to read, and I'm going to take some time on addressing, what I've learned being in the truth and what I've learned in my experience, concerning this whole epidemic of homosexuality and transgenderism that we are being faced with in the black community. All right? Let me go ahead and play the video.
Attracted to transgender women. She said her ex-boyfriend, that's now her ex-boyfriend, they were together for 7.5 years. They were high school sweethearts, never had any major issues, but then he started acting different. She said he never wanted to hang out, go on dates, have sex, or anything. She said, I knew something wasn't right, so I went through his phone records and I found out he had been communicating with a gay male. I confronted him about it. He said they were only friends, they were just cool, but then he also said he didn't want to be in a relationship anymore. He said he was young and didn't want to answer to anyone. So she goes on to say it didn't sit well with her, and she went digging through his phone in the middle of the night and found out he was a member of a gay hookup app called Jacked. Well, one thing led to another, and then she also found out he was talking to transgender women in the area as well. So she actually spoke to the women, contacted them, and found out. Now, he was very sad and apologetic about the situation. He admitted he was attracted to transgender women, but he also said he could never be in a relationship with one. It was just a sexual thing. So she said they've been talking every day since then, and she still wants to be with him. He's been in her daughter's life since her daughter was 1 month old. She said, my question is, am I crazy for still wanting to be with him? I can't see myself being with anyone else. He's an amazing man, and we have a great relationship, friendship. We've known each other since we were 16 or 17. My family knows his family, so on and so forth.
All right, so before Tony even tries to address and unpack all of that, right? Well, Angela Yee just laid out is unfortunately a story that many, many sisters out there can relate to. And there's untold numbers of black women who have, and Latina and Native Indian women who have found out that their man was a homosexual on the low. Found out that their man was dealing with transsexuals and on gay apps and communicating with homosexuals. I'm gonna just, for the sake and the well-being of the sisters, I want you all to understand. If you go through your man's phone, right? Well, first of all, going through a man's phone is asking for pain, asking for hurt, asking to find out things that you will regret and wish that you never ever knew if your man was hiding them from you. But if you are a woman out there and you go through your man's phone and you find out that he is on a gay dating app, you go through your man's phone and you find out that he shared pictures of his face or his body with a homosexual, received pictures of a man's face or body parts, you have to know that your man is a homosexual. They might call it bisexual, or he might say he's attracted to transgenders. Your man is a homosexual. You understand? He is a homosexual who is ashamed of his homosexuality, which is why he hides it, which is why he won't date he won't date another man, but he will have sex with them on the low. You know, he'll have sex with men who dress like women because it makes him feel less ashamed. All of whatever the reason is, he's a homosexual. All right. So that's deal with that first, ladies. Your man is a homosexual on the low. He enjoys sex with men. Secondly, the man is okay. Any man who's attracted to transgenders, whatever, he's gay. He's a homosexual, right? But it doesn't matter why he's gay, he's gay. But I want women to understand that a man being gay is not about you. It's not because you're not enough of a woman. It's not because your sex is not good enough. It's not because you're not attractive enough. Here, what I've learned through years of counseling brothers, you know what I'm saying, through years of hell, even when I was in the world, I knew cats who had, you know, been molested and gone through different things. And there were things that we never talked about. But I knew cats I grew up with who was brothers, man, down ass cats. But they was, you know, it turned out to be homosexuals. Or they turned out to get caught up, you know, being with transsexuals and different things like that. I'm going to just help everybody understand what's going on with it. Maybe you're a brother, you'll get wind of this podcast and you struggle with homosexuality. You struggle with transgenderism and you don't know what it is that you're dealing with or how to battle it. I'm just going to lay it out for everybody. Homosexuality with men is not about being attracted to men. It's not about the pleasure of sex. It's not about the enjoyment. Homosexuality is about abuse. It is about harming someone and being in control of either accepting pain or inflicting pain on someone. Every homosexual, period, man or woman, they are homosexual because someone violated them. Someone harmed them. Someone took control and took advantage of them in a way that they were not able to fight back or, you know, to resist it. And instead of them acknowledging I was a victim, somebody took advantage of me, somebody harmed me, there develops inside of them a spirit of wanting to be the one who inflicts the pain, wanting to be the one who dominates or takes control of someone else. That is what homosexuality is about. At its root, it's not about sex. It's not about feeling good. It's about dominating and being dominated. It is a perversion because sex between a man and a woman, it's not about dominating or being dominated because naturally as a man, I have what overpowers this woman. So sex between a man and a woman who are healthy and who are heterosexual and who are having sex because of, the pleasure and the enjoyment. It's about a man being a man and a woman feeling like a woman. Homosexual sex, however, is about making a man feel like a woman. Homosexual sex, however, is about a woman feeling like a man, making another woman feel like a woman, or worse, a woman being a woman and making another woman feel like a man. It is not about the sex or the pleasure of it. You understand? So there are a lot of women who have found their man was on the down low, found out their man was out there dealing with transsexuals and dealing with homosexuals, and they took it personally as if I'm such a horrible woman that my man likes men now. I'm such a horrible woman that I couldn't recognize that I was with a faggot or I was with a man who loves men. Sisters, free yourself from that bondage, because it ain't your fault. He ain't gay because of you. It ain't your fault you didn't know he was gay. Something happened to this brother when he was a child, or something happened to him as a man when he went to jail. Something happened and caused this man to be infected with a disease that causes him to desire perverse things. It's not your fault. It's not your responsibility. Now, for you brothers out there, whether you have accepted that you're a homosexual, or if you're fighting that you're a homosexual, brother, you have got to realize that you are gay. If you like sex with men, whether the man has a wig on or not, you're gay. If you're just the top, you only, you don't do none of the receiving, you only do the pitching, brother, you're gay. If you're the brother who doesn't do the pitching, but you do the receiving, you know you're gay, but you might not have accepted that you have been traumatized, that you have been, victimized, and you have taken the harm that you suffered, and you have, instead of being a victim, you've manned up and said, I wasn't a victim. I like gay sex. I like a man's penis. I like a man's this and that. You have fought against the abuse that you've suffered. Now, for the brother who doesn't want to accept that he's gay, doesn't want to accept that he's a homosexual, I don't care what happened to you, you're gay. You let what happened to you cause you to be gay. You let it cause you to be a faggot, and your sex with men is sex with men. I don't give a damn if they got a wig on, if they're a regular man, if it was in prison. You are gay because you have sex with men. Now, here's what you got to understand about your gay sex and your sex with men. It is not about you feeling good. It is not about you being sexually attracted to men. There is something spiritually that is controlling you that makes you need to harm a man. There's something inside of you that only is satisfied when you're able to hurt another man. And the reason why you want to hurt men is because someone hurt you. When you were hurt, you did not get justice. No one sat you down and said, what happened was wrong. It should have never happened to you. So you said to yourself, I'll never be weak. I'll never be hurt again. I'm going to prove that I ain't weak. I'm going to prove that nobody can hurt me, because I'm going to be the one that hurts other men. Those men who you're having sex with, those men in those dresses, those are men who have been harmed and abused, and you are part of their harm and their abuse. You're not sexually attracted to them. You need to harm a man. You're sick. You have a disease that requires you to harm men in order to feel good. You have to address your sickness, brother. You have to go and get some counsel. Find the truth. If you don't have nobody to talk to, you don't have nowhere you can go, come into the ISUPK and say, I've been molested, man. I've been raped. When I was a child, someone did this horrible thing to me. And because it happened to me, I can't stop myself from doing it to others. I can't control the urges I have to want to go find some man that I can abuse. And that is why I go on these apps. That is why I go and, go on the internet or call these phone numbers or go drive in that secret part of town where everybody knows there's men prostituting themselves, because I have to satisfy the urge to abuse a man. Confess that. Confess how it makes you feel, that you feel horrible doing it, that you got a woman at home and a family and people who love you, but you don't know how to fight against the uncontrollable urge to want to go harm a man. And you know what we'll do, brother? We'll help you. We'll say, okay, we understand, brother. We understand what happened to you, and then we'll train you how to be a man. We'll teach you how to fight the uncontrollable urge to go and abuse some man. We'll teach you how to live your life the right way to where you won't desire to go harm other people. For the man who is the bottom in a homosexual relationship, you've adapted yourself to being abused. You've adapted yourself to, embracing abuse from other men. Your situation is a little worse because you have not manned up in the trauma that happened to you. Something in you wants to constantly relive it. You want to constantly feel like that child or that little boy who was abused or overpowered or taken advantage of. And you pretend that you pretend that you wanted it. You pretend that you like it. You pretend that you accepted it, but it is killing you on the inside. Every time that you go and you allow yourself to be abused, you are reliving what happened to you as a child. And it is nightmarish for you to go through, but you don't know how to resist it. You don't know how to fight it. You never were taught how to man up, so you don't know how to reject what happened to you. It is the reason why you smoke weed. It is the reason why you pop pills. It is the reason why you self-medicate. Or maybe you have a doctor you go to and you get counseling and they put you on all of these different antidepressants and all of these different medications that allow you to live life and accept what happened to you. Brother, you have to understand that your fight is not only with yourself and with the trauma that you've experienced, but it is with the society who desires that you be a man who accepts abuse. This society wants every man to accept that the horrible things that have happened to him were not horrible at all, but that it was something he wanted and something he welcomed and something that he embraces. We are living in a time in a society that is pushing on everyone to accept the horrible things that you've experienced, accept all the abuse, accept all the sexual trauma. It's so hard to fight against what happened to you. This society gives you the easy way out of just, you were born gay. You being raped by that man, you liked being raped by that man. You love men. Men are so desirable. You listen, being a woman is so wonderful. You want to go put on a dress and you want to go put on makeup. You want to be a woman and receive men who want to have, strange, random sex with you and never talk to you again. Don't reject that you were harmed and taken advantage of. Embrace femininity. You're a man, but you're really a woman trapped in a man's body. It's easier for the society to deal with your trauma that way. It's easier for the society to just cater to you being a girl, being a man who doesn't deal with his rape and molestation, but just accepts, hey man, I love men. I love putting on dresses and, silk underwear feels so good to me. It's easier for them to teach you that than it is to stop the demon of homosexuality, than it is to stop, the perversion that you are experiencing. The Most High calls for us to call you to fight. The Most High wants you to reject it, but it cannot be rejected. You cannot fight it if you embrace it. You understand? Brothers, there is a way out. Sisters, there is a way out. You are struggling with homosexuality. It is no different than struggling with drug addiction. It's no different than struggling with, low self-esteem, depression, bipolar disorder. Your condition is spiritual in nature, but it is manifesting itself in your physical actions. And both homosexual men and women, tops and bottoms, they will tell you, if you ever have a conversation with them, that they cannot control what they want. They cannot control their desires. They cannot control who they want to have sex with. They are not in control at all. And if you are someone who lives a life where you are not in control, you have to understand and acknowledge that something or someone is controlling you. And if you want to live your life that way, there's nothing that can be done to help you. But if you want to reject that and fight, if you want to gain control of your life, then the priests and prophets of the Lord can help you. Now, if you're a brother out there and you living on the down low and you doing all manner of abominable, disgusting, evil things in darkness and hiding, under the covers, then there's no guarantee, there's no way I can say that, you can be one of us, but we can help you to heal. And it's never too late for you to heal. It's never too late for you to get right. But if you are a man out there that is struggling with this, you have to know that is what is at the core of it. You understand? Now, I'm going to go ahead and play the rest of the video and watch this brother fumble through trying to address the situation and trying to explain it when he really should just say what I just said, or at least the part of, well, since your man is a homosexual. Well, we're living in a time, what you're about to see from this brother is him trying to explain that you should accept the horrible, evil, messed up things that have happened to you in your life. And that is not masculine. That is not what God has dictated that you do with your life. God has dictated that you fight, that you reject these things, that you elevate yourself, that you level up, that you do the necessary work in order to make yourself the best that you can be. Don't accept anything that's happened to you. And that's what this show is about, empowering men to be empowered, to be better, take control. Stop allowing yourself to be dictated to and swayed by what the society tells you should be. Be what God made you to be. Be what makes you whole in this place. And accepting the horrible things that have happened to you, running from the horrible things that have happened to you, does not make you whole, does not make you better. If you live with shame, you're not whole. If you're hiding things in your life, you're not whole. If you are ashamed of who you are when you look in the mirror, you are not whole. And God has not called a man to live his life that way. If you find yourself living ashamed and hiding, that's not what God wants for you. What God wants is for a man to be free, for a man to be strong, for a man to be masculine. And the only way you're going to be able to shine in that light is if you are standing on the side that God is on. Everything else, all the shame and the hiding and the being afraid, it's because you're not doing what God called you to do. Let me go ahead and play the rest of the video.
Advice from Tony Rock.
Well, your boyfriend's gay. I think we all know that. He's
Or he could
gay.
be bisexual.
He's bisexual. Well, he doesn't like women.
Or he could be, he's not attracted to
He's not attracted to women.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gay, right?
Yeah, I don't know if maybe he goes back and forth.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. Not to offend the gay viewers. There's nothing wrong with being gay. There's nothing wrong with being bi. There's nothing wrong with being transgender. There's nothing wrong with, what's the Q question?
Queer?
No, what's this LGBTQ?
Q.
What's the
yeah.
Q?
Queer.
Okay, nothing wrong with that either. I think he's struggling with the fact that he's gay, so he's dating transgender women so it doesn't look like he's blatantly homosexual.
Or he's just attracted to that as well.
A man that looks like a woman?
Well, a trans woman who feels that they were born.
I
don't want you to say the wrong thing.
Yeah,
here,
I don't know
okay?
that. I don't know that. This is a slippery
But she
slope.
still wants
This
to
is a
be
slippery
the-
slope for me. I'm old school. I'm an old soul, man. I don't know. This is all you new kids with these new languages. I don't know. I think your boyfriend's gay. He's struggling with it. You're struggling with moving on. If you still want to be with him and you can accept this part of his life, this aspect of his life, because it doesn't seem like it's going to change.
Right, because she's still going through his stuff all the time,
Right.
and he doesn't want to have sex, and he's not interested in
If you can deal with him not having sex with you and having sex with other transgender people because y'all have such a strong bond, who am I to tell you not to be with this guy? Be with the guy. Is that good advice?
Yeah, very politically correct.
I'm trying not to I'm trying not to get a bunch of tweets.
All right, let's pick.
Listen, man. We live in, listen. Shout out to Tony Rock and Angela Yee. You know what I'm saying? Tony Rock navigated that as best as he could, but Tony Rock should not be the person that's being asked that question. You know what I'm saying? And for people like Angela Yee and these other media people, you have to find who is qualified to answer these types of questions. Tony Rock is not the person. I just laid out the answer to the sister of the question. And I laid out sincerely, a message for all the brothers and the sisters out there who are struggling with their homosexuality, their transgenderism, and all of those other things. Just a little bit of how that they can at least understand what they're dealing with. Hell, it ain't my job or responsibility to change you or to help you fight or whatever the case may be, but at least you can understand it. And we're living in a time where there's nobody taking time or the energy to even help these people understand what they're going through. They're just telling them to accept it. They're telling them to, be who they want to be. And that is such a dangerous thing because there are people out here who want to murder. There are people who want to rape. There are people who want to have sex with children. And if the society is telling them to accept themselves and embrace who they are, there are people who are knowingly embracing and accepting things that are harmful to themselves and others. You should not accept everything that you feel. You should not accept everything that every desire you have. You should learn discipline. You should learn to fight the urges you have in your flesh. You should learn to be responsible, to take control. And the society benefits when you aren't disciplined. The society benefits when you don't take control. The society wants to condition you to just accept everything as just that's life. That is never what God dictated to us. That is not what the Creator has placed inside of us. Inside of us, every man and woman, there's innate ability to want to question things and to say, is this right or is this wrong? And undoubtedly, the horrible things that have happened to you sexually in your life that has caused you to be a homosexual, they were wrong. No one wants to address it. No one wants to deal with it because it takes too much time and too much energy. But if you love yourself and you love your life, you will fight and question and get to the core of why am I this way? If you're a homosexual, you transgender, I just laid it out for you. But hey, maybe I'm an angry black man and I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Y'all let me know. Comment, question, reply, and let me know if I'm off. Let me know if I'm a bigot, if I'm, coming down, or if I'm just a brother who done analyzed something for you that you struggled understanding your entire life. And now that you have an understanding, if you want to seek more and get some help, contact Angry Black Man Media, contact the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, and you can get the help that you need. Again, there's no promises that you will be able to come in here and be one of us, but from the outside, we'll help you to be able to conquer your demons and to fight your flesh and to overcome the trauma that you've experienced. You understand? And with that, if I don't have any brothers or sisters, man, that came through with any questions or comments, man, we might have to go ahead and end the show. You know what I'm saying? I want to say this to y'all. I appreciate you brothers and sisters for tuning in. I appreciate everybody that's, been rocking out with me on the Toxic Masculinity podcast. It is my, earnest desire and hope that brothers and sisters will take these classes, will take, these instructions that I've been delivering and really learn and understand, what it is that the Most High has called for a man to be, and understand what the Most High has called for a woman to be, and to understand that in order to establish those forever type of relationships like our parents and our grandparents and generations before us had, it takes work. It takes hard work. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy to be a man. It's not easy to have a woman that'll submit. It's not easy for a woman to submit. And if you want to be a brother that, can love a woman and can give a woman what she deserves and can be the man that the Most High called you to be and don't have to worry about, just all of the pitfalls that can come from being a woman's everything or allowing a woman to be important to you in your life, that's what this show is all about. I forgot one thing I wanted to touch on, one topic that I left out, you know what I'm saying, and we're going to address it now. There's a thin line between being protective and possessive. And then a lot of women have, been with men who were both protective and possessive, and some women don't know how to understand the difference, don't know how to navigate it. Some brothers don't know, am I protective? Am I possessive? There's so much talk about toxic masculinity and how a man shouldn't be. So many brothers that don't know, damn, am I doing the right thing or not? I want y'all to understand, how to walk the line between possessive and protective. And we're going to address it with this post right here. This came from the Shade Room. You know what I'm saying? I posted a couple years ago, but here's a conversation between a man and his woman. It says, as long as she knows I need 4 calls while she out and be home before 1:30 a.m., the same thing she would expect from me if I was out. Said 4 calls, why? And the club closes at 2. The brother replies, 1 call when she at her girl house, 1 when she gets to the club, 1 when she leaves, and 1 when she 5 minutes from the house so I can have the door open. Says, oh wow, she ain't got a key? Yeah, but why should she have to fumble with keys and it's dark outside? She should park and be able to just come in the door. Now, I'm going to help y'all understand what's going on. This is a brother who has, given into 50-50, given into his woman, being able to have a social life and go out and party and hang out with her friends. And that's cool if you're a brother like that. That's cool if you want to go, let your woman hang out and be in the club and have a good time, right? But here's the response. And here's why a man must know where his woman is going and what she's doing, and why a woman doesn't need to know what the hell I'm doing and where I'm going. Now, I'm going to help you. This is double standard, but I'm going to help you understand why. As a man, it's my responsibility to protect my woman. As a man, it's my responsibility. If something happens to my woman, I'm the call she's going to make. I'm who she's going to hit up and say, baby, shit went crazy at the club. These niggas out here acting wild. And guess what I'm going to do? Dun, 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 dun. Put my captain cape on, and I'm going to come deliver her from whatever peril she may be facing. So I must know what's going on with my woman and what she's doing so that I can be prepared and ready to jump into action. Now, when I go out and I'm out with my friends or out with whoever I'm out with, if I had an issue or a situation occur, I'm not calling my woman first. I'm not calling my woman. I don't care if I got locked up by the police. If I had 1 phone call to make, I'm not calling my woman first. Who I'm calling is my brothers. Let's say it's a dangerous situation. I'm just in danger. I'm about to get into it with some niggas and we about to go at it, or I know they waiting at me at the lead club. I'm not calling my woman. Hey, baby, I might die tonight. I love you. No, I'm calling my niggas. Hey, man, I got into it down here at Clicks. There's some niggas that ain't talking that. They talking reckless, man. I need y'all to be outside in 10 minutes. Get the brothers, man. Come through strap. Boom, I'm off the phone. And I'm preparing and gearing myself up for what might happen when I leave out of this place. I'm not calling my girl. I gotta get pulled over with the police, and there's a situation with the police. I might need to get bailed out, or I might be getting locked up. Guess what? I'm not calling my girl unless she's gonna get in the car and drive and come get me. Or if I call my girl, it's, hey, get so-and-so on the phone. Let them know I'm about to get locked up here. Tell them to do that. Tell them to do this. But I'm not calling, my girl might be the very last call because she's not who I turn to for protection. She's not who I turn to deliver me in my times of trouble. You understand? But if the shoe's on the other foot, she getting into it with somebody, call me. Why call her when she at the house with her friends? Because before they even go out, they could get in an argument pre-gaming. Bitches could. Some bitch could be hating and say something to her sideways. Hey, call me before y'all leave Crystal crib. She called me, yeah, we about to leave Crystal's. Everything all right? Yeah, I'm good, but I'm all right. What was happening? Everything all right? Who y'all with? So-and-so, such and such, such and such. If I hear the name of a slut, then I know, hey, what y'all about to do, man? What y'all getting into? Call me when you get to the club because you got to call me before you get in, whether you going to wait in line or y'all going straight through. Call me when y'all pull up. Let me know you straight. What club you at? Where you at? Who you with? And then one when you leave the club to let me know, all right, I'm leaving the club. If you not now, a woman may say that's possessive. Why he want to know where I'm at? Why he clocking my moves? Bitch, because if something go down, I'm the one you gonna call. If you don't want me clocking your moves, bitch, don't call me if it's danger. Don't call me if some nigga throw a drink on your goofy ass because you wouldn't holler at him. Don't call me if a nigga in the VIP tripping because you in the VIP and you ain't trying to dance at nobody or holler at none of his homeboys. You understand? You want to go out and be with your friends, bitch, and I'm possessive, then don't call me, bitch. I won't protect you. But if you know that you might need me, that I'm the right kind of crazy that I come bust a nigga head to the white meat if he disrespect you, but then guess what? You're gonna go out, you're gonna call me here, call me there, let me know what's going on, what's your whereabouts, so that I can be on deck with the security. You understand? And only women who never had a good man thinks that this is possessive. No, listen, I've never known a woman who I've ever known in my life. It's just like being a child. I remember being a kid, man. I had a curfew. Certain time I had to be in the house. And I used to be jealous of my friends who didn't have a curfew. I'm like, man, dang, I gotta go in the house, man. My mother going trip, man. I can stay out hang with y'all niggas. Hey, bro, man, don't say that shit, man. Your mama, she love you, man. That's why she wants you in at a certain time. That's how you know somebody cared, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't say that shit, bro. I be out here all night with nobody even give a fuck. I come home for 2 days with nobody care. Because my family don't really care like that. Listen, every woman wants a nigga who cares when they coming home. Every woman wants a nigga who gonna say, bitch, you going out? I don't want you to go out. You shouldn't go out. But hey, if you want to go out with your little hoe friends, all right, no problem. Maybe they're not hoes, but you want to go out with your friends. You call me when y'all heading out. Call me when you get there. Call me when you're leaving out so I can make sure. Like that's reassuring a woman. That's securing a woman, protecting her. No woman rejects that. Only woman that'll reject that is a slut who want to go have sex with some nigga on the side. She don't want you reporting. She don't want to report to you and tell you what's going on because the nigga in the background don't know how to be quiet. You understand? Hard mess is a horrible thing. Horrible thing. Some of you brothers have been on the calling end. Other you brothers have been on the end of the other end. I seen, okay, guys, I'm trying to find out how do I politically say this. There are women who will be with a man and performing fellatio on him. And her phone will ring, and it'll be her boyfriend. And she won't stop fellatio. She won't tell the man she's with, hey, I got to answer the phone for my boyfriend. You know, be quiet. I got to leave the room. She will continue the fellatio. She'll tell you, shh, be quiet. Don't say nothing. But she will have the penis in her hand and will answer the phone and say, hey, baby, how you doing? And then continue the fellatio. You laying there like, this bitch out of her mind. She's doing the fellatio, so you not minding, but she got the phone to her ear in the middle of the fellatio. And she'll pause from the fellatio and say, nah, I'm out with Crystal and then we at her auntie house. And she'll go back to the fellatio while he's talking. And she's in mid-fellatio. And you'll just be laying there like this nasty slut. And she'll be in the fellatio and pause and say, I'll be there. I'll be done in about 30 minutes. I'll be on my way. And she'll go back to fellatio. And you laying there like this hoe ain't got no regard or no respect for this cat. This is amazing and horrible at the same time. But because of the world, you won't moan. You won't make a noise. You'll just lay there and enjoy the fellatio while she's on the phone with her nigga. Some of you brothers can relate to being the brother who's getting the fellatio. Some of you brothers, unfortunately, were the brother on the phone. Where you at? Who you with? When you gonna be home? Brother, do not be the brother on the phone while she's giving fellatio. You should just say, bitch, listen, I don't even call no bitch. I text her. Where you at? Bitch don't respond to a text, no sweat. All right, no sweat. You don't need me. You good to go. I won't even worry about you. Won't even think about you twice. Won't even acknowledge your existence, bitch. It's a lot here. Listen, protective or possessive, both. A woman can't be protected unless she's possessed. Why would I want to protect a bitch who ain't mine or don't belong to me? Why would I protect a woman who isn't valuable? If you're not valuable, hey, go ahead, do your thing, have fun, shorty, enjoy yourself. If I'm protective and possessive, bitch, you mine. I need you. Where you at? What you doing? Who you with? Nah, them hoes, they sluts. Nah, you can't go with them. Them bitches like to be backstage at the club and in the VIP with ballers, and ballers don't get hoes in the VIP for free. I know because I was one. You in the VIP hole, you going home with me, or it's a problem. I don't want my woman to be subjected to that, so nah, baby, you're not going out. And if you're going out, what you wearing? Who you with? I'm scrutinizing everything. Damn then, brother, you want to be so on top of your woman then she don't even want to go out. She say, nah, girl, if I try to go out, man, this nigga Keith, he gonna just, he gonna make sure I wear the right clothes and this and that. No woman wants to go to the club and not be admired. No woman wants to go to the club and blend in. Brother, if you think your woman want to go hang out with her friends and not be the baddest bitch in the crew, then you're lying to yourself. Or you got a goofy broad. Sorry. Who wants to go to the club and blend in? I remember my clubbing days. I'm not going to the club unless I'm fresh. And when I say fresh, I mean I'm fresher than these niggas. Somebody gonna be hating me tonight because I'm about to be, I'm killing it. Even now, I go out, I got my Hebrew stuff. Somebody gonna be mad. Somebody going, who's this fat nigga with all of this, Hebrew, these letters I can't understand, and there's this clothing that I never seen before. They gonna hate me for one reason or another. You got a woman that want to go to the club and she ain't fresh. Man, what? Yeah, all right, I guess. I've never known a woman that wanted to go anywhere and not shut the spot down. I've never known any woman who didn't want to go anywhere and get all the attention. Brother, you got a woman that wants to go out and don't want attention, don't want the spotlight. I don't know. I can't relate to that. I don't know that woman. I don't know what woman wants to go out and just be another girl in the crowd. Every woman wants to go out and shut the scene down. You understand? Every man wants to go out and shut down. You pulling up to the club, you want to shut down the parking lot. Every man wants to be that guy. Every woman wants to be that woman. Your woman going out, you got to make sure that you are on top of her. Call it protective, call it possessive. To me, they're both one and the same. If you got a woman that don't want to be possessed, then you have a woman that doesn't want to be protected. And a woman that doesn't want to be protected is a woman that wants to be free to be a hoe. But hey, maybe I'm an angry black man. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Y'all let me know. It's your man, Captain Sakawar. Toxic Masculinity, Episode 9. Provoke the Emulation. I'll see y'all next week, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Salute. I'm out of here.